Hello everyone and welcome to another Digimon Model Kit video. This time we're going to be taking a look at the Standard MetalGarurumon figure, which has decided to lose its wing very suddenly. Where do I put? There, I put that in there. And we'll be taking a look at this Standard model kit and comparing it with a few of the other MetalGarurumon figures that are around. Good, he has his wing back in place, which is just the continuing curse of me just having figures shatter the moment I touch them. So best of luck, me, especially when we've got one of the Shoto figures over here, which I'm terrified to touch. So this is the standard version, particularly in comparison with the amplified version, where it's a little bit more mechanical in its design, a little bit more like a regular model kit that is typically a mech or some kind of robotic. So we do have that to compare to, and we can see that yes, it is quite smaller than the amplified version. But we also see that it is actually more show accurate, which is something I do appreciate from the non-amplified figures. And actually, if I were to say whether I prefer an amplified versus the just non-amplified ones, overall, I would just prefer the non-amplified ones. They are quicker builds, they are very easy to put together, and they're not as, I guess flashy is the right word, compared to the amplified versions. But I just feel like if you want a show-accurate figure, then the non-amplified ones are probably the best you're going to get. The articulation's pretty decent. I typically have him sitting like, kind of like, almost like a little puppy, just sitting like that, but not as mangled, I guess. I'm just scared of having it shatter again. But yeah, so I kind of like how it is just kind of there. I do, of course, also have the evolving figure, but I'm not going to tempt fate by moving any more figure. What did I tell you? To be fair, the head for the amplified MetalGarurumon does fall off quite a little bit. I do also have, of course, the black MetalGarurumon variant, but I had that to the side because it just looks exactly the same as the non-black version, just the regular MetalGarurumon amplified figure, because they are just more or less the same, just with the color swap. So I will put him out of the way for over there and hopefully not break anything. So yeah, we also have the Shoto figure, which I do like the way these look. I feel like they do look fairly show accurate and they're nice figures and they're fairly cheap. However, if you've seen any of my previous videos on the Shoto model figures, then you'll know that they have a habit of being really hard to put together, on the basis that the joints don't really fit in particularly well, and I often have a lot of trouble keeping them together. That's why it's kind of in a weird, mangled position, because I'm too scared to touch it. I'm just trying to fix it without hopefully pulling any appendages off. So I'm going to put that over there. So yeah, he kind of is just mangled in the corner there because, again, I like the Shoto figures, but I don't like how fragile they are. But they look nice from a distance, at least. And then, of course, I have an original MetalGarurumon figure from the original run, which is an action figure. This is, yeah, playing with the tail, gets him to open his mouth, which is pretty cute. I just thought I'd show that off. And it is funny that it's got actually metallic paint, whereas the other ones don't, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's not often metallic paint on the model kits, and people who want to make them look fancier do put metallic paint on them. I tend to just build them and then have them as is. I don't do any touch-ups. I don't go over with any marker or anything to give any finer detail. I feel like that's a personal thing, like it matters to the individual. I don't care about it, particularly for myself, but there's obviously a lot of time that goes into it. I've done it with a few of my figures, and it took a long time, and I guess it does look a tiny bit better, but for the amount of time that I put into it, it doesn't look that much different. it doesn't stand out enough to me, and I mean, that could just be my bad eyesight, but typically if someone shows me a picture of something that they have put the highlighting lines on, I'm sure there's a better word for that, I just look at it and I'm not able, like, I'll say, oh yeah, that looks nice, but I can't actually tell if it's had the underlining of, that's a me thing, not like anything else. But yeah, so I don't use any highlighting on my figures because, one, I'm lazy, two, I can't tell the difference, but that's just me. So anyway, this figure, it's a really good figure. I do love the non-amplified ones. We've had quite a few now. I usually complain when Bandai puts out figures for MetalGarurumon, WarGreymon, or Omegamon, but this one actually looks pretty cool, and it's kind of cute. It was also a fairly fun build. All of the non-amplified figures tend to be fairly fun. My favourite being the Magnamon one, but I just really like Magnamon. But yeah, articulation's pretty decent. You can kind of move the leg joint there. You can make it a little bit more dynamic in its posing. But I'm just terrible at posing everything. For memory, you can even make him stand up on his hind legs. There we go, look at that. But yeah, do I recommend this model kit? Absolutely. It's actually 100% my favourite MetalGarurumon figure that you can get at least out of the ones that I have, especially ignoring the Shoto figure, which again, I'm going to put him over there hidden away in his shame because, again, I like the Shoto figures. I don't like how they shatter when I touch them. And that was because when I was putting together my PLDramon one, it just fell apart. But you can watch that video if you want to see me fail at putting toys together, I guess. But anyway, so yes, this figure is great. I love it. I love the level of detail. Granted, there's not that much. I like the fact that it has limited stickers. My least favourite part of any model kit is 100% putting the stickers on. I feel like the teeny tiny ones I lose, the big ones I always bend somehow, and that's a me problem again, yes. And this one, fairly certain it just has the ones on the cheek, which I can't remember if this was the case for the non-amplified one, but the amplified one doesn't actually tell you to put the cheek stickers on. But I can't remember if this one does or doesn't. It's been a little bit since I did it, but we have seen that I put the stickers on. So yes, absolutely do recommend this figure. If you want to get any MetalGarurumon figure, I would recommend this one, especially because it's not that expensive. The model kits are fairly on the cheap side, but the non-amplified ones are even cheaper. So that's definitely another plus for the model kit. Of course, because it's the non-amplified ones, there's less attachments and less flashy things. Like we have the MetalGarurumon amplified ones, which you can detach the wings and have him hold it in his mouth, and I've kind of got the attachment there in his mouth there. You can change if you want the wings to be lit up or not. There's more customization and more ability to make different dynamic poses, so yes, there is less of that with the non-amplified one, but I would still recommend this one over the amplified variant, just because I just really like how nice it looks. It just looks exactly like you'd expect a MetalGarurumon to look. I can't see any immediate flaws, and yes, the lack of stickers is definitely a plus once again. So anyway, those are my thoughts about the MetalGarurumon standard figure. Let me know your thoughts, comments, and questions in the comment section below. Also, let me know what you think about this particular format. I'm trying different ways that I can do my model kit review videos. So if you have any feedback, or if you like this format or don't like this format, or just simply don't care, let me know your thoughts and comments, etc. in the comment section below. Like this video for hopefully never me having to build another Shoto figure in my entire life. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have subscribed, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your enemies, and of course, I'll see you in the next video. Bye!